So, last thing I want to talk about, which is certainly not least, this might be one of the biggest things we've talked about so far. Lionel Messi, longtime winger for Barcelona, has announced that he wishes to part ways with the team, put in his transfer request. He is basically saying he is done with the team. This news is absolutely huge. This, to me, is bigger than Tom Brady leaving the Patriots, because in soccer, we all know this, money talks. Most of the time, guys get big money thrown at them, they're gone. We've seen this with guys such as Neymar, for example. Only spent 4 years at Barcelona before getting a ton of cash thrown at him by PSG. So it's very rare to see someone stay at a club as long as Lionel Messi has, especially with the transfer fees that are paid for players nowadays, and how easy it is to sort of justify letting a player go, getting a bunch of cash for him, and then sort of divvying that up for some young talent. And that's sort of been the trend of the past couple of years with teams who have high-profile players, letting them walk. We saw this especially with Liverpool, I would say, is a very good example of this. They let what was arguably the best guy on their team at the time, Felipe Coutinho. They sold him to Barcelona for a $100 million plus transfer fee. It was in the $120 million. Sorry, European fans, I'm using dollars. Fee, and they used that to go get guys such as Virgil van Dijk, such as Alisson Becker, who have obviously now sort of cemented themselves as one of the best teams in the Premier League. So it's very common to see this type of thing. And Lionel Messi has been with this team since the beginning. He played his first minutes with the club in 2004 at age 17, and he's been with the team since for 15 years. How about that? He is 32 years old now. Man, this guy has built such a good resume. He's been part of 10 La Liga winning Barcelona teams, with their worst finish coming in third in the 2007-2008 season. They've won the Champions League twice, and they won the Copa del Rey 4 times. And throughout the 15 years he's been at Barcelona, this is insane to me. There have been 4 names to earn top scorer. Ronaldinho, Samuel Eto'o, a rare one-off by Luis Suarez, and Lionel Messi, who has been a top goal scorer for 10 seasons out of the 15 he's been there. That is absolutely remarkable. He's led La Liga in goals 7 times, finishing with 50 goals in 2011-12 season. Led La Liga in assists 6 times, and he actually had his best mark this previous year at 20 assists. He's been Argentina's Footballer of the Year every year except 2006 and 2014, and has been on the FIFA Pro 11 since 2007. I think that was the inception of that list. And to top it all off, he has won 6 Ballon d'Ors, which for those of you who don't follow soccer very well, that is best player in the world, MVP if you will. But you're not judging it for a single league, you're judging it amongst every single player in the world you're being judged. So he was named best player in the world 6 times, including a stretch where he won 4 in a row. 4 times in a row, 2009 to 2012. He was rated as the best player in the world. So my point is with all of this, if you couldn't tell, Lionel Messi is one of the best to ever do it. For one of the best clubs on the planet, who he's been synchronous with since his rise to the global stage 15 years ago. And now he is leaving. So, as shocking as this is, we have to move on to the next question, which is, where does Barcelona go from here? So after a disappointing year last year, they fire Ernesto Valverde, and they bring in Ronald Koeman. So we'll see how they recover on that front. But who do you bring in to replace arguably the best player in your franchise's storied history? So here's a couple people that have been sort of thrown in the rumors, and a couple of people that I would look at if I was sort of a front office Barcelona manager. So Paulo Dybala for Juventus is the obvious choice that comes to mind. He has stated his admiration to the club before, and he's 26 years old, so he's got plenty of time in front of him to really make his mark at Barcelona. So another move that's been rumored forever, ever since Neymar even left, he's been rumored at coming back to Barcelona, And at 28 years old, he'd just be entering the prime for this team, although they would be paying a hefty fee for him, as is known with Neymar. He costs a hefty price tag, as always. Or perhaps if Messi is going to Man City, as is rumored, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, they could ask for a swap of one of their bright young stars, such as perhaps a Raheem Sterling or a Leroy Sané at winger, potentially. Not sure if Man City would go for that, but that might be what it takes if they don't want to pay, a $500 million transfer fee for Lionel Messi, whatever it is that they'll have to pay for him. It'll be a pretty penny, so maybe they could lower the transfer fee for him, give up a Sterling or a Sané, or Barcelona could just stick with who they have. They still have a really great attacking front. You have Luis Suarez, Antoine Griezmann, and Ousmane Dembele, who they can now give the spotlight to and let him start every game and really flourish in that winger spot and develop, as he's only 23 years of age. So he could, in theory, I'm not saying he will be, he could become this next household name, household Messi, where he stays at the club for 10 plus years. Who knows? So whatever they do, they are in such a tough spot. Obviously losing arguably what's been the best player in the world for 10 years, going back and forth between him and Cristiano Ronaldo. So as for Messi, where does he go in all of this? The better question is, where can he afford to go? Who's going to be able to pay what will be surely a hefty transfer fee for him? So as previously mentioned, Man City is the obvious choice here. He's reuniting with Pep Guardiola and Sergio Aguero, a fellow teammate, for Argentina, as well as joining an excellent title contending team year in and year out, who I hate because I'm a Liverpool fan. Kind of have to hate them. PSG, someone who will always be rumored with big stars just because they have the money for that. And former teammate Neymar is a member of that team, so you could see sort of a reuniting of those two, as it doesn't seem like they did sort of sour the relationship maybe, but I think that there is common ground there, and I think that if they wanted to get back together, they could set their differences aside and make it work, per se. Inter Milan is another team that's been talked about, as they, with their new owners, these new Chinese bigwigs, have really thrown a lot of money into the team. And actually, this team, you might have heard of, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who just signed a guy you might have heard of, Tom Brady, are also owned by the same Chinese family. So they could also throw a lot of money at Lionel Messi to try to end this reign that Juventus has had over Serie A for, oh my goodness, who knows how long it's been now. And who wouldn't want to see Ronaldo versus Messi again? Ronaldo playing for Juventus now in what people consider to be the twilight of his career, as will be Messi whenever he makes this move. You could also see him just suck it up. And if he doesn't get transferred, stick it out. He is, after all, if he stays or leaves, he will be the best player on this Barcelona team, no matter who's there right now. And if he does retire with Barcelona, he will retire to the joy of his fans. You know, people appreciate Messi for what he's done. I appreciate Messi for what he's done. He is one of, if not, you can make the argument, the greatest footballer of all time. Certainly the argument between him and Ronaldo has been interesting the past couple of years. And it would be very cool to see him retire in that Barcelona jersey. But as we've seen from guys such as Iniesta and Xavi, you have to move on when the time is right. But those guys were not anywhere near as good as Messi still is when they left. Hence why they went to Japan and Qatar, respectively. So, what is my bet with Messi? Where do I think that he goes? I think Manchester City is the place that we will end up seeing him. He's got Pep Guardiola, who was his manager at Barcelona, who they really got along with. Sergio Aguero was there as well. And we know Man City can hand out the hefty paychecks that they love to hand out. They should be the favorites to grab Messi once everything is said and done. So, one thing is for sure after this move is done, or if he doesn't move at all even, La Liga and the rest of soccer, football, whatever you call it, as it is, will have a completely different outlook forever, honestly. As one of the best to ever do it is on the move. Sort of, it's sort of sad to think about, really, because as much as people argue between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, who's better this, both their fans can be really toxic at times. It's really great just to see these two. And you have to recognize you're watching two of the greatest to ever do it play at the exact same time. Ronaldo is only a year older than Messi is. I mean, you could, as a soccer fan, you couldn't ask for anything much better than that. So, as a soccer fan, I tip my cap to you, Messi and Ronaldo, for giving us multitudes of years of greatness. And hopefully you will give us more years of greatness to come. And wherever you go, Messi, and at Juventus / whenever you move to the MLS, Ronaldo. We will love you here in America. Please come to the MLS eventually. We need some sort of talent here. The MLS sucks. Anyway, long-winded rant over. Lionel Messi moving. I hope he doesn't go to Man City, but he probably will. That's the Liverpool fan in me. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Sorry it's been a little while since I've uploaded. This is kind of to make up for that, sort of a jam-packed episode, as you can see from the runtime of it. If you stick around for the whole thing, great. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, give it a follow. Listen to some of my older stuff, potentially. Give it a download, give it a listen. Let me know what you think of it. At Real Sports Porch on Twitter and Instagram. Follow those, as well as my personal Instagram and Twitter at JeffreyA2017. Hit me up. Tell me how the show is. Give me any sort of constructive criticism you may. This is still only my 6th episode in, so please, anything you guys have to add to it, let me know. You, the fans, are what really make this show happen, and you're the reason why I keep doing it. Seeing all the positive feedback, all the positive comments, I really do appreciate it. And I thank you all very much for listening, tuning in, watching, whatever. And I will see you guys on the next one.